Hello again and welcome to another Nick Beck's Watch Reviews. As you can see in front of us here, I have another Lorus. You've probably seen my last few reviews. I've had a few Lorus watches I've reviewed, and I'm really in love with the brand. As we all know, it's Seiko's baby brother, if you like. It's their cheaper brand. However, cheaper they may be, but they still seem to maintain the quality of a Seiko watch, which, you know, I know most of the people, us watch geeks, know how important Seiko is as a company, and what a great quality company they are, and they do produce some fantastic watches. Sadly, their QC issues can be a little bit hot and cold, but we'll forgive them for that for now, because like I say, this is a Lorus watch, and I'd actually like to review it as a Lorus, not a cheap Seiko, if you like. So without further ado, let me just mention my my biggest fan. I have to mention him every time, is Bricktop. Thanks for all your support, buddy. And of course, Duncan the Time Bombardier. You know, you guys support my channel all the time, give me lots of nice compliments, make lots of comments. I love my comments and my compliments. You know, carry on. Don't ever be afraid to put something I might disagree with. You know, it's always constructive. That's good. Thanks to all my existing subscribers. I'm going towards 1,300 now. All my new subscribers, welcome on board. It's great to have you. I hope I don't bore you too much, but I don't think you would be watching my channel if you got bored listening to some watch geek talking about watches. So that's my thanks and my you know, gratitude to everybody out of the way. Let me now review this watch. So let me now actually bring the watch up to the camera, let you have a look around, see what you think. I'll tell you what I think and give you the dimensions on this guy, and yeah, give it a short 10-minute review. So as usual, let me show you the hang tag, and that's gone straight away into focus, which does make a change. This is the RM319BX9, and as you can see, it's kind of an Art Deco style watch. And I love Deco. I've always liked the Deco style. It's probably my favourite kind of architecture, and you know, I just love that kind of 20s and 30s appeal and that 20s and 30s look. And as you can see, this is very, very much has that kind of Art Deco aesthetic. It's a large watch. I'm not going to kind of get away from that. Obviously, I'll put up some wrist shots for you, so you can see how big it is on my kind of standard size wrist. The lug to lug on this is obviously the height of the watch, because it's square, is 52, so it's quite a big lug to lug, but of course it's that style. The width on this guy is 42 millimeters. You have an awesome lug width on this, which I've never experienced. The strap width is actually 28. So it's quite a wide strap, so it almost kind of looks like a mock croc leather bracelet with a big TV screen on it. But like I say, you know, you'd have seen the wrist shots, and I'll post up some more. It's all 316 stainless steel. You've got Hardlex crystal, which is Seiko's own crystal. This one is approximately 13 millimeters thick, so she's, you know, it's quite a thick watch. It's quite heavy. It's substantial. It's you know, it doesn't feel like it's cheap quality. And considering this watch I picked up on Amazon for £47, and it's made by the great company Seiko, and it's a pretty good bargain, I think. You know, it's a pretty decent watch for the money. So it's a chronograph, as you can see. We've got 100 meters of water resistance. It's a standard push-pull crown, and I'm going to pop that back in to move the second hands around. What I don't want to do is touch the watch too much, because it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, because every surface on this is highly polished. So bringing it into the camera, you can see we've got 3 subdials. You have the 1/10 of a second top dial, which is square. The bottom dial again is square. And then the 9 o'clock dial is a little round one, which actually gives the watch some symmetry. Moving across to the other side where the 3 o'clock date window is, and that's black on white, you can see Lorus chronograph, 50 meters of water resistance. My mistake, I thought it was 100, but I guess being a dress watch, it doesn't need to be 100, so we've got a 50 on this one. As I said, it's all 316 stainless steel, pretty heavy. Turning it over, we've got the Lorus Wave logo and Lorus Watch Corporation, blah blah blah. It's obviously, this is a pop-off back for your battery because it's quartz, and as you can see, we've got a nice piece of quartz in the background there. It couldn't be, I suppose it could be a screw back if they use kind of tiny little screws on the four corners. But bearing in mind, this is essentially a budget watch. It's a pop-off back, so you know, for £47, you can't really complain about that. The leather strap is beautiful. It's quite stiff. It's mock croc. It says top genuine leather. I think that should be actually top grain, but for some bizarre reason it doesn't say grain. It's nicely stitched on the edges there in kind of almost like an off-white, or I suppose that's kind of an aged white. You've got a mock croc pattern on it, which I think really works on this watch, because going back to the dial, you have like a tuxedo stripe pattern, and fairly big, again, Art Deco indices that are applied. You have dolphin hands and a very kind of sharp, sort of arrow-like second hand. There is lume on this guy, but I'm not even going to bother posting up a lume shot, simply because the lume is minimal and it's a dress watch, so it, you know, it doesn't really even need to have lume. I think we can forgive it that, and you know, I don't want to forgive the watch too much for being £47. I still want it to be good quality, but made by Seiko, it's bound to be. So there you go. It's, like I say, it's a square watch. It's quite big. It's like a big TV screen on your arm. It's all, the edges are all highly polished. The crown's polished. The pushers are polished. It's a standard chronograph with the 1/10 of a second. So if I just push the top button, you can see the 1/10 of a second spins round, and the bottom button, the bottom dial is counting the seconds. And then your 9 o'clock dial will actually count the minutes. So if I stop that there, and you just reset with the bottom button, I mean, everybody that knows these watches knows that's how they work. It's not a mecha quartz movement, which is great, because I'm not a fan of mecha quartz movements, because the problem is if the hands are misaligned, and we all know about Seiko's quality control issues with misalignment, at least you can adjust these hands yourself. So, you know, I'm actually pleased that it's not a mecha quartz. Going back very quickly to the strap, you've got your two thick leather keepers. It's a very thick strap actually, and you can see that. We've got polished buckle, and underneath it says stainless steel. We've got Lorus printed actually on the strap, on the leather strap, and as you can see, it's a nice quality strap. There's no question about that. And the watch itself, I think, is a lovely. It's definitely worth. If you can get your hands on one of these, definitely pick one up for the money. It's a serious bargain, and I think wearing it, it's going to get a lot of compliments, and people are going to think it's a lot more expensive than it actually is. So that's my new Lorus. I'm going to call it the Art Deco watch. So again, thanks everybody for watching, for getting this far into the 10 minutes. If you're still here, thank you again for all your support, all your kind words, your compliments. Please never ever, you know, worry about giving me negative comments. I'm always happy to, as long as they're constructive and not rude, I'm always happy to listen, and I try to answer every single comment that anybody makes. So keep giving me the thumbs up, keep subscribing, and I will see you next time.